our Spring Sports Awards ceremony. I would like to congratulate all the athletes on a great season. The athletes and coaches made many adjustments this year, starting their seasons later than normal, and finishing their season in the middle of June. Wearing masks, filling out COVID forms, and taking temperatures were the norm this year. Our athletes and coaches did a great job making it through the season. I would like to congratulate the softball team and the boys track team for winning the Colonial Conference in their divisions. I'd like to take a moment to thank a few people. The parents, for all the support this season, attending the games when we could get there, and running booster clubs. And just for everything you do for all your children throughout the season. The coaches, for all the time that they put into the season, all the late night practices and early weekend practices, just the endless paperwork that needs to be done. I really appreciate the coaches. Mr. LePayover and Mrs. Grady, for all their help this year in keeping all of our athletes safe and healthy this season. To Mrs. Murkowski, for all of the help and everything she's done for our program this year and the past 25 years. The administration, board members, teachers, staff members, our grounds and our maintenance staff who support everything we do. And then finally to our athletes, for all the time you put into training, getting ready for the season, all those late night practices and the early weekends, making sure you're getting your homework done so you can stay on top of your grades, and really for the sportsmanship you've shown throughout the season, and just representing Audubon in the manner that you have. Right now, we would like to start the awards ceremony.
Hello everyone, and thank you for tuning in to the Spring Sports Banquet. My name is Luke Colazzo. I'm the head coach of Audubon Green Wave Golf. Just want to mention some of our players and some of the achievements that we made this year. We had a really nice season, like everything else over the past year or so. It was pretty crazy. We had a really short preseason, and then we dived right into the season itself. And we had some young players come in and make some really great contributions. Some new players come in and be a part of the team, so it was really great for us. We finished with an 8-9 record, which is very good for the golf team. We have some stiff competition with West Deptford and Haddonfield, but we played really well against the rest of the competition. We actually finished at about 500 for the conference, so that's really good for our team. And it was a good year, a lot of fun. We always have a lot of fun. And I wanted to mention some of the players that earned varsity letters this year. So first and foremost, we had a couple of freshmen. Sean Clark has an older brother on the team, actually came in and contributed for us throughout the season, made it to all the practices and did really well. And he chipped in for our last match, tough one against West Deptford, so he did a good job. Another incoming freshman, Blaise LaFrance, new to the team obviously as a first-year freshman, but he made some great contributions, scored for us in a number of matches, and looking forward to having him for the next few years. And then another new player, Emily Powers. Emily Powers came in and we put her in some matches, had one of the toughest ones of the year. It was a really cold and windy day down at Pittman, and she came out and performed really well for the whole year, actually. Another great player came back, missed last year because the season was canceled. Looking forward to having him last year, and then when we lost the season, we lost his play as well. But Hayden Wiltsey, a sophomore, made it to the varsity team and just played great for us the whole year round. Ryan Clark, who is a junior returning player, another great performance from him, and looking forward to having him for another year as a senior. Sarah Colon, she performed for us in a couple of really difficult matches as well, and she came out and did a great job for us. Someone new to the team, Brendan Folkman, we're actually going to lose him. He came out as a junior, and he's moving away, so we're going to lose him for next year, but it was great having him on the team. A veteran player, Brian Libby, came out, actually scored quite a few matches for us, and he did really well throughout the entire season. Looking forward to having him as a senior. Emily McCauley, a great player, been with the team for 3 years now. We put her in a match, and she did great, so really looking forward to having her for a senior year as well. Shane Price, he's another veteran, had him since a freshman. Just a lot of fun. Shane's just a great kid, a lot of fun to have on the team. It makes it enjoyable for everyone to be out there. So he's one of our great players. and we're going to miss him as a graduating senior. And then Lucas Riley, another senior, unfortunately got hurt about 2/3 of the way through the season and missed the last part of it, but it was great having him on the team. He was really a great kid and helped inspire and lead those younger players. So it was great having him while we did. As far as the achievements in our team, we had 2 players finish second team all-conference. So they did that by actually playing their way into the Colonial Conference tournament. So we did really well for that. Remember, we finished about middle of the pack for the conference as a whole in terms of our record. But for the all-conference tournament, the Colonial Conference tournament, we had both players. We only sent 2, and they both qualified for second team all-conference. First was sophomore Hayden Wiltsey, and secondly was Shane Price. So we had two of our players finish in the second team all-conference, so congratulations to them both. As far as our Pride and Excellence Award winner, it goes to a player who's been with the team all 4 years. As a freshman, he came out and scored really well, jumped right into the starting lineup. Sophomore year, became one of the more popular players on the team, a lot of fun, brought energy to the team every single day, always putting smiles on people's faces. And one of the things that I liked most about him was that he was there at every practice, every match, and happy to do so. Unfortunately, he missed his junior year. He started with the team, and of course the season was canceled, but he came right back for his senior year and just did everything that we asked him to do. He scored in every match, kept his average in the low 40s, and just did a great job. It was really a pleasure to have him on the team, and he's going to be missed. The Pride and Excellence Award this year goes to Shane Price.
The Audubon High School softball program had another outstanding season. Our JV team only lost 1 game this season, having another great team. Our JV guys were combined with our freshmen, so they did a combination of a freshman JV program. I'm going to go through and read off our JV recipients. First we have Gianna Bolin, Gabrielle Brook, Krista Carey, Kira Gaspari, Ava Griebel, Brooke Gronkowski, Mariah Hembold, Skylar Martin, Amelia Ward, Brianna Bell, Caitlin Cavallera, Siani Howard, Marielle Oganda Cosme, Brianna Schill, Alina Serzanin. The managers for the JV team were Sophia Bricking, Bella Kakocha, and Gabriella Orsino. Our varsity team had another great year. We finished 18-2. We definitely faced a lot of adversity this year with injuries, dealing with COVID protocols, things of that nature. The team worked really hard. They put in the effort day in, day out, really were responsible, taking care of each other, making sure these seniors had a season this year, and really worked hard into the best of their abilities. Our team was led by 5 seniors. Our first senior was Megan Conley. Megan was a first-year varsity softball player. She was the first time playing in our program. Outstanding athlete. Wish Megan would have played a few more seasons with us, but I'm really fortunate to have coached Megan. She did a great job in the outfield for us, and a great kid, and overall outstanding athlete for Audubon High School. Second senior is Natalie Slavin. This was Natalie's first year on varsity due to us not having a season last year. Natalie did everything for us, played in the outfield, stepped up big for us with, key hits in big games, did an outstanding job, worked hard. I'm really proud of Natalie and her efforts this year. Our third senior is Megan Gottschalk. Megan has been on the varsity team since her sophomore year. She, started out as a role player for us, and this year earned a varsity starting position at third base. She did a great job defensively and was solid for us at the plate all year long. Our fourth senior is Maeve Lougheed. Maeve had been starting since her freshman year, starting shortstop for us, outstanding defensive player, did a great job at the plate, had been outstanding all of her years in the varsity program, a leader on the team, one of our captains. Maeve will be attending New Haven in Connecticut next year to continue her softball career. Our last senior is Olivia Malinowski. Olivia has been starting since her freshman year. She is our catcher, one of the best defensive catchers to play at Audubon. She did a great job with our young pitching staff. She's a leader, outstanding at the plate, had a great career at Audubon. She will also be playing in college next year, attending Hofstra in New York. Right now I'm going to read off our recipients of their varsity letter winners for the varsity team. Freshman, Emily Bobo. Sophomores, Kylie Elkins, Allison Yerkaba. Juniors were Catherine Brook, Gianna Canuso, Ava Gomble, Alexandra Holton, Emily McCutcheon, Dana Medlar. And then our seniors, again, Megan Conley, Megan Gottschalk, Maeve Lougheed, Olivia Malinowski, and Natalie Slavin. We also had a senior manager this year, and that was Alexandra Storms. Our all-conference first-team recipients were Olivia Malinowski, Maeve Lougheed, Dana Medlar, Catherine Brook, and then for second team was Alexandria Holton. This year's Pride and Excellence recipient is senior Olivia Malinowski.
This year was like no other. The pandemic was difficult for students not only in school, but in sports as well. Our team faced the adversities brought on by the coronavirus and pushed themselves to work hard and play hard. A lot of players lost a whole year of baseball and persevered through the challenges they faced and were ready to compete. I first would like to thank Lillian Murkowski and Tony Carbone for everything they do behind the scenes to keep everything running smooth. I would also like to congratulate Lillian on her retirement and wish her well in her next chapter. I would like to thank our Booster Club, which always raises money to support our team and cheers us on. I also want to thank my coaching staff, who are the best and more like family to me, for all the hard work that they put in this year, year in and year out, making our program one of the most successful programs in the state. A special thanks go to the seniors this year, who continue the tradition of pride and excellence. They did a great job of showing the underclass and what we are all about. A special thanks to the JV players for staying strong through such hard times, and they are Alvin De Jesus, Hunter Lowe, Joe Slavin, Daniel Lapone, and Caden Sanders. Now I want to recognize the varsity letter winners. They are Charlie Copsetti, Jack Dempsey, Dylan Pulley, Ryan Zimmer, Zach Beebe, Charlie Grady, Brian Thompson, Gabe Colon, Sean Driscoll, Xavier Massey, John Perozzi, Isaiah Pinckney, Aaron Rampola, Nick Colon, James Fetterman, Jordan Fowler, Matt Huckaluck, Jake Nolan, Kirk Peschman, and Chris Kennedy. Thank you for all your hard work and dedication that you put into our program. I would also like to recognize Charlie Grady, who made first team all-conference, and John Perozzi for making first team all-conference and also played in the Carpenter Cup. Xavier Massey, who made second team all-conference, and Ryan Zimmer, who also made second team all-conference. Our record was 13-8. Our season started in great fashion, and we were 6-1. Then we hit a few bumps in the road, but we rebounded to make the playoffs. Overall, I want to thank all the players for playing hard and giving our team an opportunity to compete with the best of the best. Even though we fell short of our goals, I am proud to be around this group of guys. Our pride and excellence winner is a guy who excels on and off the field. He is a team player and always knows what his role is. He did a fine job pitching for us, going 4-3 on the man and batted .500 with 34 hits. He was a leader within our team, showing his teammates what Audubon baseball is all about. This year's Pride and Excellence winner is John Perozzi.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Hope you're having a great summer. Our coaches would like to start off by thanking Mrs. Murkowski and Mr. Carbone for all their hard work during this year to bring back spring sports in some sort of normalcy. Special thank you to Mrs. Murkowski, as she's retiring in a few weeks. She has helped all of our sports programs over the years and has been a huge supporter of the track program. We wish her the best during her retirement. This season was an emotional one after losing all of last season. We had a team of only 25 girls, with 13 of them being seniors. I'm going to list those girls for us now so we can hear their names and get them recognized. Our freshman class included Nyla Coleman, Kira Collins, Erin Connolly, Nyla Hanna, Audrey Mitros, Isabella Repetto, and Molly Rizzi. From the sophomores were Caroline Hauser, Mary Kate Owens, and Ava Rizzo. Our lone junior was Siani Triber. And from our senior class, very large group of 13 girls, was Rebecca Barnhart, Lily Cameron, Greta Davis, Ashley DeFrades, Casey Ewing, Kyla Hoinkus, Haley Long, Kelly Laughlin, Emily McGrath, Emma Myers, Emily Owens, Sarah Parr, and Maddie Spink. Our team came in working hard from the winter, and we're excited to get back to competing somewhat normally this season. During the early part of our season, we had some tight conference competition where things maybe didn't go the way we planned, but we battled to come out on top. That is something that defines these girls. We may not have the largest team, but we know how to work, compete, and leave it all out there. We won our first 4 meets of the season and finished the season by going head-to-head with an undefeated Haddonfield. This is a meet we always look at on the schedule because of how much of a powerhouse they are. We knew it would take everything we had to go out and win the meet, and the girls left everything out there. We saw multiple personal bests, a lot of first-place finishes, and a ton of heart. Even though we fell a little short, this was a very memorable meet. During the season, I actually quoted it as my favorite loss since I've been coaching. At this point, I'm going to bring Coach Cosenza in. He's going to highlight some of our team's accomplishments and individual athlete accomplishments.
This team had some special moments throughout the season out of our conference competition. The day after prom, with athletes just competing in 1 or 2 events, the team was able to take second place at the Camden County Championships. At the DEFRA relays, we saw a stubborn 2x400 hurdle relay record finally fall to freshman Nyla Coleman and senior Emily McGrath. We also saw another record fall in the super sprint medley with a team of 3 seniors and 1 freshman, Kelly Laughlin, Casey Ewing, Emily McGrath, and Nyla Coleman. When we reached our sectional championship, we weren't able to come away with the elusive team title, but we did see a few individual awards. Emily McGrath won the long jump title, while Sarah Parr was able to take home 2 titles in the pole vault and the high jump. We also qualified in 2 relays, 2 throwing events, and a few other track events sprinkled in. When we reached the states, we decided to compact some of our events to try and do the best as a team. During the state championship, Sarah Parr qualified for the Meet of Champions by taking second place in the pole vault, as well as our 4x800 team of Ava Rizzo, Emily Owens, Emily McGrath, and Casey Ewing running the second fastest time in school history to take second and also qualify. We saw 3 athletes make first team all-conference, Kelly Laughlin, Casey Ewing, and Emily McGrath, and 6 others take second team, Nyla Coleman, Ava Rizzo, Sarah Parr, Maddie Spink, Emma Myers, and Emily Owens. As a team, we continuously put out marks that the coaches in the area took notice of, which kept us in the top 15 in South Jersey for 8 consecutive weeks. Way to put in the work week in and week out. Your coaches and all the other coaches around took notice. This season was a remarkable culmination of 4 years of hard work from our seniors with the added help of the underclassmen taking the reins next year. We made memories during our scavenger hunt. We got rained on a few times. We had tough workouts. We threw up, we laughed, we cried, and we competed. We want to thank our seniors for everything they have given us in this program. As the underclassmen go through the years here, it's important to learn from your upperclassmen. You can look to them as examples of how to work, lead, and communicate. You can see how they have grown up by hearing stories from their younger years and the triumphs of overcoming obstacles. I want to end by acknowledging our Pride and Excellence winner from this year. I've had the pleasure of coaching this individual for 8 seasons because of spring and winter track. This athlete has had a complete transformation of who they were as a freshman to where they were as a senior, and that's something we hope for all of our athletes. Working hard was never something this athlete lacked. It was just some other things that she had to learn as she continued through high school. We have had plenty of practices where we both wish we had boxing gloves on, but it was because of the passion we both had for our sport. We have grown to understand each other and work side by side in whatever the goal is for that day. She has not only improved all of her marks in every event, but her confidence, attitude, and leadership was unmatched this year. I've seen this athlete grow up so much over the past 4 years, and this year she was not only a remarkable leader, a dependable athlete, but an incredible teammate. She was one of our most clutch performers all year, nearly running personal best every time she stepped on the track. She reached her goal of earning a spot on a team to run in college, where I'm confident she will continue to excel as an athlete and an individual. She has made a lasting impact on myself as a coach and this program, and I thank you for that. Your 2021 Girls Track and Field Pride and Excellence winner is Casey Ewing. Congratulations to Casey and to everyone else. We'll see you guys soon. Have a great summer.
Hi, I'm Coach Ireland. I'm the boys track and field head coach. I would like to start by thanking Mr. Carbone and Mrs. Markowski for everything they have done throughout the season. This, like every season, has had its challenges with scheduling buses. They're changing last minute. They do an amazing job keeping everything organized so we as coaches can focus on our job of getting the athletes ready for competition. I want to thank all of the coaches that have helped the team throughout the season. My assistant coaches Dan Reed and Roger Halkirk, our volunteers Anthony Pugliese and Kieran Bolin, and also the girls coaches, because we kind of all help each other throughout the season. I would also like to thank the parents, families, and friends that come out throughout the season and have supported the team. It's great to see everyone lined up along the fence, cheering on the athletes. Coming into the season, I knew we had some talented athletes returning, but we also had some question marks after not having a season last year. Luckily, we had several new underclassmen that came out and solidified the team. Even with a delayed and shortened season, this team came together quickly and put together the best season in the program's history. Here are the athletes that made up the team. We had Jacob Dutil, Patrick Gallagher, Reef Johnson, Nick Cristino, Aiden McGuckin, Michael Cipollone, Brandon Du Bois, Josh Roselle, Jake Steinert, Ryan Wolak, DJ Bryant, Aiden Williams, Joseph Gaspari, Billy Lindemuth, Joe Moran, Noah Tomeo, Cooper Bannell, Connor Bellata, Brady Gilbert, CJ Gilmore, Scott Hubbard, Makayo Kalihi, Aaron Myers, Tyler Wells, Enrique Herrera, Jake Hutter, Jake Jordan, Jeff Jordan, Tyler Karolinski, Tim Knoll, BJ Matthews, Gavin Mickles, Aiden Tomeo, Zach Williams, and Tyler Wilson. It was great to watch this team perform this year. They came prepared and ready to compete in every meet this season, and their results prove that. This team had some of the best individual and relay results in the program history. They set multiple school records. They won the Colonial Conference Liberty Division for the first time ever. They won the Camden County Championship for the first time since 1984. They finished second in South Jersey Group 1, scoring in 14 out of 18 events. They finished fourth in the state Group 1, which is the highest finish ever. And they finished the season ranked 11th in South Jersey out of all groups, voted on by the Track Coaches Association. This team also had the first state champions in the program's history. The first title was the 4x800 relay team of CJ Gilmore, Scott Hubbard, Makayo Kalihi, and Zach Williams. This team also set the school record by more than 6 seconds. The second title was the 4x4 relay team of Aaron Myers, Tyler Karolinski, Connor Bellata, and Tyler Wilson. This team finished second at the South Jersey sectionals, but they came back and executed the perfect race and did not give any other team a chance from the start. We had several athletes that earned all conference awards. Making the first team were Billy Lindemuth and Tyler Wilson in the sprints, Connor Bellata and Aaron Myers in the hurdles. We had Aiden Tomeo in the jumps, Jeff Jordan in the throws, and the state relay 4x4 relay team, state champion 4x4 relay team, also was first team all conference. Making the second team were Zach Williams in the distance and Scott Hubbard and DJ Bryant in the jumps. So for the Pride and Excellence Award, I am awarding this to an athlete that has been an integral part of this team from his very first meet as a freshman. In his first meet, we were in a dogfight with Haddon Township, and we just won the 4x4 relay to finish the events on the track, and that pulled the team within 1 point of them. So we needed to win high jump to win the meet. Haddon Township had one of the top high jumpers in South Jersey at the time, and this freshman went jump for jump with Haddon Township's athlete, and it ended up bettering him in the freezing cold with a jump of 5:10 to win the meet and eventually help the team earn our first Patriot Division championship in 2018. Ever since the first meet, he has been one of the hardest workers and team leaders. This year, he ended up doing long, triple, and high jump for the team, knowing that we would need every point possible if we were going to win the Liberty Division, which we did, and he was a huge part of the team's success. It has been an honor to see this athlete excel over the past 4 years. The 2021 Pride and Excellence Award goes to Aiden Tomeo. To the entire team, congratulations on an amazing season. This has been a season you will never forget.
Good morning, or afternoon, or evening, or night, or whenever you're watching this. Thank you for coming. As always, we need to start off with our thank yous. I do have to thank Tony and Lillian, the ubiquitous, getting everything done, making sure everything runs smoothly. My assistant coaches, Diane Bay and Ralph Gilmore. You know, it was an odd year coming off of a non-year, and we really kind of had to scramble to get things together and make sure that we caught up to where we should be this year, given that we missed all of last year, and you know, they were invaluable in making sure that happened, as we'll find out. This was a great year for us with parents. We were a small team this year. We only had 8 players, but I'd say at least 75% of our players had at least one parent at just about every single match. You know, we played a playoff match down in Middle Township, and I think almost every parent showed up there. So it was great to have parents come out for pretty much every match this year. We had one manager this year, Kathy True. We were lucky to have her. She did a great job for us. And of course the players. We'll go through each player eventually individually here to highlight their season. You know, as I said, it was a little bit of an odd year, given that we lost last year and they were able to roll with it. And we got a little bit lucky in the sense that we had an older team, an experienced team, and a lot of the kids that played were here before, so they knew the pressure of the gravity of the situation, as we'll see with our playoff run. We finished the season 7-8. We had some really gutsy wins. We you know, a little bit surprised to have beaten Gateway 3-2. We actually beat them twice. Even the wins, even the matches that we didn't win, we showed up and we competed. It was a really productive season. As I said, we had 6 of 8 of our 8 players were seniors this year, and they brought that experience and that poise with them. And I like to say we were small, but a really powerful team this year. We only had 2 0-5 losses, which is kind of a measuring stick in tennis, and those 2 losses were to Haddonfield and Haddon Township, and both of those teams ended up winning South Jersey in Group 1 and Group 2. So to be able to take at least a flight, it's called, to take one flight in each match otherwise was a pretty big deal for us this year. We're continuing that tradition, and hopefully we'll be able to rebuild into the future. We started off the season with a goal of winning the Patriot Division. It was wide open with teams graduating kids last year that didn't play, and then, you know, the only way that any players got any experience last year was if they took private lessons. So the division was wide open, so we set that as a goal early on. We weren't able to do that, a couple tough losses, but then we could readjust our goals to the playoffs, and we were given a number 11 seed, which again, we were a little bit disappointed with that, but it ended up being a good thing for us. One spot in either direction would have completely changed the course of things. So our 11 seed meant that we were playing the number 6 seed in the first round in Pittman. We went down there to their courts and really kind of shocked them in a 4-1 win and really kind of dominated. There was one spot, our third singles took 3 sets to win, but outside of that, they were really dominating. We moved on to the number 3 seed. I remember it was like a 95-degree day. We ended up beating them 3-2 as well. It's a little bit of time ago now, but I remember not being able to sit still, not being able to stand still, jumping from this spot to that spot, sweating the whole way and really anxious about everything. But we were able to pull it out. It was a great win. We went on to Middle Township at that point, and they're a team that has won Group 1 in South Jersey, I want to say 2 of the last 4 or 5 years. So they're really a stalwart in Group 1 tennis in South Jersey. And we went in there and showed up and competed really well. Casey Wallace, our second singles player, ended up winning a spot. And we lost 1-4. But we were, at that point, and I'm not saying this lightly, we were kind of the talk of South Jersey tennis at that point. We had an article written about us and our win against Gateway. And people were paying attention to us at that point. I'm going to go through each spot from our lowest spot, second doubles, up to first singles. At second doubles, we had Sean Straub, David Amorosi, and Xavier Rangel in a rotation. Showed up and played tough every single match. Weren't able to win all that many matches, but that really isn't it. The second double spot, especially on a team with 8, you have one JV player. So to be able to get kids in there and get experience was a victory for us in that sense. Our first doubles position of Jared Arline and Harrison Whitman finished 8-7 on the year, and they actually played more 3-set matches than any position on the team. They really like to make it difficult and as tough as possible. They ended up being the consolation bracket runners-up in the conference tournament, losing to a tough West Deptford team that they had actually beaten a different time in the season. They were a little bit tired in that match, and it showed. It was a really hot day on the day of the conference tournament, but they were able to play 3 or 4 matches in that day, and ended up losing in the consolation bracket, but I think they walked away with a trophy. They were named first team All-Patriot Division for their efforts. Our first time getting a doubles team on there, and I want to say 6 or 7 years, so that was a great thing. They really pulled out some tough wins this year, and they even in the losses, as I said, they pushed a lot of teams to 3 sets that maybe they wouldn't have in other years. They had a lot of fight in them, and they clicked as a doubles team really well, and it was great to see them play together as well as they did. On to our single spots, Cole Bodie finished 7-8 in his first year as a starter. This was only his second year playing tennis at all, and his first, as I said, as a starter, his first as a singles player. So to be able to basically go 500 in that says a lot about him. He really surprised a lot of people in the conference with his determination and grit. A bunch of 3-set matches. I remember him. He had that hat on all the time and how sweaty it was and how much he was fighting in every match. Casey Wallace is in second singles, finished this season 13-2. He was a captain, as was Jared Arline. Apologies to Jared for forgetting to say that. Casey Wallace was the conference tournament consolation bracket winner. He ended up beating our first singles player, Billy Chu, in that match, which says something about Casey. Your number 2 can beat your number 1 at any point in the season. You're doing something right there. He was named first team All-Patriot Division and first team All-South Jersey Group 1, one of only 2 second singles players to be named to that honor. Our first singles player, Billy Chu, finished the season 9-6. First singles, you're playing the toughest players on each team. Billy walked away with a very respectable record this year. He made it to the consolation finals in both the Camden County tournament and the Colonial Conference tournament, losing to a really tough Bishop Eustace number 1 player at the Camden County tournament, and losing to a really tough number 2 singles player in Casey Wallace in the conference tournament. He was named as well to first team All-Patriot Division, first team All-South Jersey Group 1. Billy's just a junior, so he has another year next year to really prove his worth in South Jersey tennis. He was one of the grittier players on the team and played a lot of 3-set matches, and he seemed to really enjoy those hot days because he seemed to get better as the match went on. I personally don't like those hot days, but it was fun to actually watch him, I dare say struggle, but really fight to win those matches. He's got some great things ahead of him next year. Our Pride and Excellence Award winner is a senior who, despite not being named a captain, never stopped acting like one. He was a great ambassador for the team and the school at every match. He, dare I say, was a little bit too polite at times. You want to, make sure that you're a little bit aggressive on the court when you're playing tennis. We would see at times he would lead like fist bumps with the other team as they crossed from one side to the other. In one respect, that's a great thing. You want to see that sportsmanship, but in another respect, you do want to see some aggression. It didn't creep its way into his match play at any point. Him and Jared at first doubles really had a really impressive year this year. Our Pride and Excellence Award winner this year is Harrison Whitman. So congratulations to Harrison. Congratulations to all the boys on really an impressive and fun season. Thank you.
Well, this concludes the awards ceremony. I would again like to thank all of our athletes and wish our seniors good luck in whatever they decide to do next year. Say thank you and good night.